Yes, and we're back! It's your boy, Eduardo Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of the Cinema Draft game. Been a long time, it's my bad. We've had a few stops and starts, which you've not been privy to, but we're officially back here, and I'm very excited to introduce a longtime friend, fellow Morehouse alum, but he's new to the pod. He's a cybersecurity specialist by day, multimedia soundtrack content creator, did I get that right? By night. It's the man, the myth, the legend, aka How Electronica, Mr. Charmaine Albritton. What's going on, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, I'm glad to be here since it's back. I mean, didn't Luda say back for the first time? So just let it roll, man.
There you go. From America's heartland, where, of course, all Midwestern American values come from. Just a prelude to the debates tonight. We're taping this on Tuesday, February 25th. Of course, the shit show that is Democratic debates will be going on tonight, and I am here for it. I'm actually here for it. I actually canceled a potential date, just to see this joint, so I'm very excited about this. Yeah. I mean, you saw the last one, right? It was nuts. It was off the chain.
Oh, absolutely. It was a page turner.
It was a bloodfest. That's right. Old girl, what was that? What I say it on Twitter? That big Liz energy was all over that joint.
Okay.
All right. Well, enough about politics. Our Andy Cohen inspired Watch What Happens Live style drinking game today will be the word amazing, because I tend to overuse that word. And every time you hear one of us say it, take a sip of what you sipping, that adult beverage or that Kool-Aid Red or whatever it is you got, because today's pod will end up covering some of the most impressive and amazing musicians working today. Now, our first segment, what I'm watching, one of our fan favorites, at least my favorite. And first thing I'm watching, and let me see if I can bring this up on the old IMDb and share my screen. It's this crazy show called Love is Blind on Netflix. Have you heard about this, Charmaine?
Yeah, I've seen the title of it, man. It's amazing you brought that up. So you feeling that show, man?
Oh my goodness, that show is so. All right, so full disclosure, I guess. I was sucked in by The Circle. That was another Netflix reality show special, totally ridiculous, totally unhinged, and where the concept was basically conducting a bunch of social media experiments, using the convention of social media, but not being able to see the other person. So you had to kind of figure out if the person was real or not, if they're catfishing you. And there were some catfish on. There's a black gay woman who pretended to be a super hot straight girl who's flirting with all these guys. So it was a lot of mind games, a lot of social media strategery going on. And this one, in Love is Blind, it's just, I mean, it's a shit show, and I'm so here for it. So basically, the concept is, oh wow, no more pictures just in the posters, huh? Okay, so basically, I think they dropped like 3 episodes at a time, or chunk episodes at a time. I just got caught up with it over the weekend, and so the premise is that you have another kind of, can't see the person's social media experiment where they dump a bunch of single people in, and they'd have these kind of blind dates where they just talk to each other through the screen. You can't see the other person, and the concept is to fall in love with the person and then propose to them without ever seeing them first. And there's some new fools who are out here who are actually up for that stuff. Can you believe that?
Wow.
It's nuts, but it's really compelling. And so it's 10 episodes. They've dropped like the first 9 of the previous couple weeks or whatever. And I guess the finale is this Thursday, but me and my little Facebook groups, I mean, we are all over this joint because it's nuts. I mean, it isn't too, I mean, it is far-fetched, the whole proposing before you've seen somebody, but it does force that whole concept of getting to know someone for them and falling in love for their person without letting the aesthetics or the exteriors kind of come into play with it. So you have this interracial couple, this redheaded dude falling for this sister. Everyone there everyone's good looking. They didn't like kind of set people up with people who were intentionally ugly, or at least the people who matched up all seemed proportionally hot, let's put it that way, right?
Okay.
And so the couples that moved forward, because I think they did there was like maybe 20 guys, 20 girls, but they whittled it down to like 6. In the first 2 episodes, there was a brother. Let me see if I can find this dude. His name was Carlton. I know the jokes write themselves, but Carlton, see Carlton from Love Is Blind. You can already see it in my screen share, right? This Negro, he he goes in, he gets this girl Diamond to fall for him, and she is fine. Like she's like a professional sports dancer or whatever, so they kind of fall for each other. He proposes to her, she accepts, and then they go. I think on this third episode, they go to some Mexican resort or whatever, and he finally reveals to her after he proposed and she accepted, and the wedding's like 40 days later, allegedly. He tells her that he's bisexual. How do you think that go over? How do you think that went over with a black woman?
That didn't fly too well, if I had to guess. Wow.
And then he had the nerve to get mad at her for being upset that he, bait and switched on her. She was at least open to hearing his side of it, but he got so indignant, he stomps off. She gives him back his ring. He throws it in the pool, and Carlton was done. And apparently, this dude is like some sort of reality TV guy for hire. I guess he showed up on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yeah, he's a whole mess. So does this sound like your type of show, Charmaine, or something that you might watch in your household because you are a married man?
I would maybe give it about 15 seconds because it's one of those things where you're like, it's funny to watch, but dude, I watch so much Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and the other ones. I'm like, dude, I can't right now, but I could. I mean, I won't count it out. I binge on it maybe. So
no, I feel you. Well, the other one I'm huge on. I'm sure you probably have heard this one. It's called Cheer.
Yeah, I've heard that
special about cheerleaders and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, I know you're raising a little girl. I don't know if she's into like cheer culture yet, or if she ever will be. I don't know. Maybe she might want to go the athlete route, or she'll be into something different. But Cheer, I find, is amazing. It's so much fun. They've minted some bona fide stars from this. Gabby Butler, I call her like the LeBron James of of cheerleading, because she's like a 5-tool player. She stunts, she flies, she's a tumbler, she's like super athletic, and you got the face and everything. She's got like almost 1 million Instagram followers too. I mean, she's legit. What have you heard about Cheer, Charmaine?
So when I saw that show, I saw the trailer, or at least I saw the little post. Okay, this is interesting. They're expanding out the McDonald's high school cheerleading competition into a show, which is good. I mean, you got to go behind the scene on this thing, man, because I guess to your point, like if you have like my daughter, she watches the competition part of it. I want her to also understand what's involved in getting there. You're not just automatically that good. You got to work your way into it. So it's
100%, because that's what I think is so great about Cheer, is that it kind of focuses on. So it focuses on the cheerleaders themselves. Like, I think they follow 3 girls and 3 guys. The wild thing is that the guys, most of the guys who are like lifting up the women and what have you, they tend to be black and gay. So that's subculture you don't necessarily see in athletics prominently, but they're like huge part of the culture. Jerry, actually he's not pictured here, but this is Gabby Butler's Instagram page while we're looking at it, and as you can see, like, she's super fit.
Yeah, she's done, man.
She flies. This is her doing the flying stuff. She definitely has like this whole like kind of lifestyle brand. They have this whole thing about Gabby Butler's parents, how they kind of live off of her. Like, seriously, like their business is her. So that's kind of wild. Like, you're 20, I guess she's 20, maybe 21, and she's got 1.5 million Instagram followers. It's nuts. You see Navarro, 2-time national champion. So that's the whole thing. So the thing about Cheer is that they're driven by what I like to call the Texan Bill Belichick. This woman named Monica Aldama, and first of all, she's freaking hot. I love me some Coach Monica. She's a killer. She's so driven. Yeah, there she goes.
Okay.
Texan twang. She got MBA from UT, and she's like, yeah, if I wasn't doing this Cheer stuff, I'd be working on Wall Street. And I believe her. She's won 14, I think, national championships at JUCO level. It's nuts.
Okay.
And she don't take no shit. Like, I mean, and they have so many injuries in this sport, and they train like professional athletes too. And it's wild because the highest level that they can go is is, you know, basically college cheer. And after that, there's like no pros. So everyone goes 100%. It's all about getting on mat. They have like 40 people on the squad, and only 20 can be on mat at one time. So it's a really interesting culture. And I love me some Coach Monica, man. Look at all the trophies.
Oh gosh, she's a beast.
Look at all damn trophies. Yeah, she's incredible. So that's my little that's my little Coach Monica praise for the day. And then the last show I'm watching is Narcos. I wish I could play the music, because you know that opening music is Narcos, but you know that's a copyright violation. So when you hear that Narcos beat hits you, you know, you can't help it. Love me some Narcos. Do you watch Narcos, Charmaine?
Narcos is on my Netflix list, and it's like one of those things. It's like, dude, go watch it. I know it's good, just automatic. So it's one of those things. What has been out since 2018? Yeah, I know I'm gonna binge that like easily when I get a chance to sit down.
So there are essentially 5 seasons. So there's 3 seasons. The original Narcos is just called Narcos. That was centered on the Colombian drug trade. And then after the 3rd season, for the 4th season, they switched up to do Narcos Mexico. So it was essentially like a 4th season of Narcos, but they kind of retitled it, and they started focusing on the Mexican drug trade. And that was because basically, you know, Colombia, you know, kind of bled into Mexico, and now Mexico is starting to bleed into America. I mean, there are some theories about that, like season 3 of Narcos Mexico, which would essentially be season 6 of Narcos, might be like a little more cross-border focused, because they had your boy, I think it was either Quavo or Future. I always get those two mixed up. But I think that Quavo.
Quavo probably, yeah.
Yeah, Quavo showed up as like a 1980s drug dealer, kind of showing the Mexican drug cartel how to create crack rock. So great branding, I guess. Quavo, whatever.
Oh God.
But yeah, and this is my girl right here, Teresa Ruiz. Woo! So she plays an actual fictional composite character, but basically they kind of made her as like an aspiring cocaína trafficante, and she's and she's also an Instagram thirst trap if you want to get lost for about 10 minutes yourself right there. But yeah, that's just a fun show. She's great, and she wears some incredible gold lame jumpsuits. Narcos, baby. Your boy Diego Luna playing Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo. You know, I think in the States it's Felix Gallardo, big drug trafficker who kind of organized the other drug traffickers. And, you know, but it's basically drug work Wikipedia if you're into that type of stuff.
Okay.
This guy, oh man, it's such a great show. I really enjoy it. What are you watching, Charmaine? I haven't done enough talking. What are you watching?
So man, for me, it's like I'm hooked on old, like, just stuff that's been around for years. So anything Dick Wolf, Shonda Rhimes related, I'm already on it, dude. It's like that's the family time frame. That's family. Now for me, I'm on these John Wick movies, which I haven't finished watching yet.
Oh.
And I'm waiting to watch, what was that? So I watch a lot of YouTube, and like right now what's got me hooked is Talib Kweli. He does these segments called the People's Party, where he basically just brings in entertainers, talks about the industry, and it's intriguing. So the last one I watched was about Anthony Anderson, and he just basically told how he came up in the game. So yeah, Talib Kweli People's Party, man, it's pretty legit. He's had like Too Short, Michael Rappaport. It's good watching. Like the Rappaport episode gets very intense. Like, and as you see the trailer talks about Ashy Ankles, Tribe Called Quest. Because if y'all remember, Rappaport did that Tribe Called Quest documentary, which I thought was pretty good and expository.
That was amazing. Yeah, that was great.
He did his thing. So yeah, Kweli, man, he's coming in. This is a good ideal, I think, for him just to kind of come in and get the who's who of hip hop, acting, and you just learn some things. Like there's some things I didn't know, and I'm still in it. Like I heard Ice Cube, he was on the other day, and he was talking about how he flips his brand between super gangster rapper to I'm the family man, and he works both worlds. He doesn't have any personal conflict. He's like, look, both of them bring in some revenue, so I was like, I ain't mad at you, dude. So that when I have moments, this is one of the things like with YouTube, I can like be driving somewhere and I just like to listen. I can just literally let this play in the background and it's intriguing. If I have a moment to sit down, I'll maybe watching for facial expressions. But one of the other highlight episodes I enjoyed was Robert Glasper, famed jazz musician. He was on Talib's show and he got into it specifically.
The Photograph, right?
Yeah.
The movie The Photograph starring Issa Rae and then Lakeith Stanfield. I believe Robert Glasper did the musical score.
Yes.
That's a great segue into our next segment when we get there. Not to rush us, but yeah. So tell us about the Glasper one real quick.
So the Glasper one. So as a musician, and Glasper brings this point on some of his albums, man. It's kind of hard to find real good, authentic musicianship. And Glasper's been around for years. He started off in jazz standards and then worked his way to what we hear now. Like he'll do tracks with Erykah Badu, Mos Def, etc. But one of the fun facts he has is, and you see in the picture, he has this little candy toothpick fetish. And I was like, the old school like candy toothpicks. I was like, wait a minute. He can't live without them. Like when he's on a set, he's got them in his mouth. He's just doing his thing. So I was like, okay, it's interesting how you have these famous jazz musicians on Grammy Award who just have these habits. So another thing that I didn't know about was he clowned Lauryn Hill. And that was like all over the news. And when Talib called him out, he was like, so why'd you call her out? He's like, well, she's not acting right. She's a person like everybody else, and I have no problem saying that.
I mean, that's true, but don't we know that Lauryn Hill has like mental health issues? No.
I mean, I thought they tried to test that, but then they didn't go too far because I guess Robert was also like, I don't have any time to get another Twitter war with this chick. So, because social media is mean. So
it is mean. Wow.
I have no time to mess around with that. But no, overall though, it was good to see. I love seeing artists.
So he's a young cat too. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. So seeing artists, talk to other artists, hearing what they do is inspiring. Like his last couple of albums, he basically hopped from LA and in New York. People would just show up to his hotel and they record. So he was in LA. Who was that? The artist King, Erykah Badu, Common would be sleeping on the couch, and they just cut an album. And I was like, that's got to be a life to live right there, where you have all those musical who's just coming through your spot. And then just kind of recording a record, and then you put it out, and then the people get to experience it. So it took my listening experience to a whole different level. Robert's got this series called Black Radio, which is his latest set of albums, and it's a good set of collaboration. But he's not scared to go back to traditional either, because that's where he came from. And I enjoyed him because he's a fantastic pianist. And
so this is like your version of like podcasts, huh? Like you'll just have it running while you're driving, what have you. Yeah, okay.
Yes. And it was always on my darn those tech algorithms. It kept popping up on my tech algorithm. I was like, why is Quali popping up here? What's going on? Okay, I guess I'll watch one. I mean,
never doubt the algorithm, man. That's how I found Cheer. I mean, Netflix knows me. Netflix knows me.
Your algorithm. So what I want to watch, and this is I think coming out on Netflix or maybe Amazon Prime. I get all the services mixed up, but there's a show called Hunters coming out.
I had a feeling to say that.
Yeah, it's kind of piquing my attention. I was like, okay, I might get
I started Hunters. It's got like almost like a movie length 90-minute pilot episode, but it's interesting. I'm gonna stick with it. It's I like historical fiction, so it takes place in the 70s, late 70s. So
for that too, I'm starting to learn. I was like, let me get into it.
Yeah, man. Well, all right. Well, that's good. Well, we're gonna switch over to the next segment. And basically, the subject of our podcast today, the top 5 musical scores. And since you are new, and we also might have some new viewers to the program, let's go over how we do our main subjects on this podcast. So top 5 musical scores. And the rule is you will name a movie whose musical score you admire. We alternate picks. Once someone picks a movie, that movie's out of play. And so since you are playing away game, Charmaine, you get to go first. And unlike some of our previous guests, you might actually have read the rundown, so you might be prepared for this. So what is your first musical score movie?
Dude, Inception.
Oh! First of all, way to play the game, Charmaine. Damn it. That is God. Oh, that was gonna I'm sorry. I'm freaking out. I know it's a podcast. Y'all can't see me, at least those listening. I'm sorry for my little tantrum. This is ridiculous, damn it. That is like that might be my number one. That might be.
Dude, it's something about like when I was doing my homework for the show and I saw the question. Immediately, I thought Hans Zimmer, and I was like, okay, there's so many of the Zimmer scores out there. I immediately started thinking of Inception, man. I just saw the scenes and I was like, yep, it's Inception. And I love all the other joints you've done, but that one just speaks to me, man. It's crazy. The movement.
Incredible. Oh man, I'm crippled now. That's an incredible score. Way to play the game. Take the major domo off the board first. It's it might be my favorite score of all time. It's incredible. Hans Zimmer. I always like to say that he can score the soundtrack to my life. I wanted to play him at my funeral. Oh man. Okay, I'm shook right now. I'm shook, but yeah, that's
look at the scenes. I don't even have to watch the movie. I can just look at the clips, and I just know.
It's incredible. I mean, younger Tom Hardy. That was kind of like my introduction to him. He'd actually been on the scene for a while, and people knew about him from that jail movie, I think, and maybe like a Skinhead movie too. But like Inception was where he really kind of jumped out to me. And then and it's great. I actually rewatched it a couple weeks ago. It holds up, man. It really holds up.
I've got to watch it again. It's on my list to like really just go through. And I don't know if it's because I'm a DiCaprio fan. I don't know yet if I'm like, am I rewatching it for that? Because I heard, matter of fact, on Kweli, just to go back a second, Kweli was asking about Rappaport. And no, actually he was asking, he was asking Rappaport about DiCaprio. So they all know each other. And they was like, yeah, man, that childhood actor, he's something else. And I was like, wait a minute, that's right. He did do those younger movies like Titanic. And I didn't realize he was like a childhood star.
Oh yeah. He was on Growing Pains. No. Yeah, Growing Pains. No, is that the one with the Seavers? Yeah, Growing Pains. He was on Growing Pains.
Yes, Growing Pains.
Yeah,
yes.
He had like 1, maybe 2 seasons on that. I think they let him out of one of like half his contract waiver so he could go make a film. Like I think it was the Gilbert Grape movie. So yeah.
But my best movie of his number 2 for me is Catch Me If You Can. I don't know why. It's just the whole getaway aspect of it, and just I'm gonna con somebody else out of cash. I was like, that dude, he killed it in that film.
No, that's a fun film. All right, so well played, Charmaine. Well played. I'm shook, but you know what? I'm gonna take one. You may not have thought of this one, but I love this one, and so I'm coming off the top rope myself. Damn it, I'm going with Armageddon.
Oh, that one. No way.
I mean, people, I think it's kind of grown in stature over the years as far as people's affection for it. I've loved it, from the beginning. I remember where I was when I first saw it. I first saw it sold out theater. It was like July 3rd. It was like a 4th of July screening type thing. I think they kind of first started doing those early midnight previews or whatever. Actually, that's what it was. It was midnight previews at midnight, I think. I was in Chicago, just moved to Chicago, fresh off of graduation, whatever. And actually, that's not true because I graduated in 97. Well, it was summer in Chicago, and I remember going to see it with my friends who's visiting from out of town. Big, huge screen, in a Chicago theater, and it was a great movie. I enjoyed it. I mean, I think it's hot. It's high class trash essentially, but it was also emotional. And I think what really pulled your emotions was the Trevor Rabin score. I'd never really, now's my introduction to Trevor Rabin. He's gone on and done a lot of great scores. Actually, let's look up Trevor Rabin real quick, because this is the first score of his I remember hearing about. And it's just, the score really did play, a huge role in it as far as like getting you to connect with like the action. The action is over the top and silly. I mean, they're freaking, miners on an asteroid trying to save the world. It's fucking ridiculous. But
it was the first of many apocalyptic flicks, though. That's what made it. And Bruce Willis, you put him in it, you can't really go wrong. So
yeah, and then Ben Affleck, young, he filmed this before he won the Oscar, but I just won an Oscar. I'm, feeling myself trying to, before I make really bad leading man decisions. So this is kind of like his first really big leading man role. And yeah, it's a really good time. And not to give you too many ideas on scores to
wait a minute, he did Enemy of the also.
And look at this run. Look at this 90s run by Trevor Rabin. For those listening at home, Con Air, Homegrown, Armageddon, Enemy of the State. Not sure about Jack Frost, but Deep Blue Sea. We'll skip the TV movie there. Gone in 60 Seconds. Remember the time? Trevor Rabin was on one in the late 90s to early aughts. All right, and he's kind of never stopped really. He takes some movies off here and there, like Bad Company wasn't a good film, but he did Bad Boys 2. That was a great score. Yeah, so not to give you too many good ideas, but yeah, he's been doing his next looks like his next project is some sort of TV miniseries. Looks like it's some sort of French thing, and then the last thing looks like he scored. Oh my goodness, it was like 4 years ago, the 12 Monkeys TV series. I think that was on Sci-Fi Network. So yeah, Trevor. So I guess he had a well-deserved break, I guess. But yeah, Trevor Rabin, man. That's it's Trevor Rabin in Armageddon. That's my number one. What's your next pick?
Star Wars Episode 4.
John Williams. New Hope, the OG. All right, well played. You know, and that was in the general constellation of mine too. So since we're already here on it, I'll do my next one, which is Empire Strikes Back. So that was same guy did both. So you speak on Episode 4.
So this goes back into timing.
John Williams, first
John Williams.
Yeah,
it's John Williams. So when I listen to think about Star Wars, the first thing about is the starting screen, the credit screen, just how the orchestra begins. I mean, it just gets your attention. But then I always go to the Darth Vader just orchestra. I'm like, that thing is like timeless. But then I listen to the rest of the score.
I think it's called the Imperial March. Yeah,
the Imperial March, man. It's still one of my favorite evil dark themes to this day. If I need dark inspiration, I'll just go to that.
Man, look at these alt posters are crazy. Like I'm trying to get an actual image from the movie, but all these alternate posters. I mean, there's like 500 images.
I know. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't even realize there were that many.
I had this poster. I remember I had this like on like either bed sheets or something. I had this actual poster with the. Look at they made Mark Hamill look ripped. That's hysterical. 70s were wild, man. That's all I gotta say. 70s were wild.
They're pushing it.
No, you can't. You don't even see Harrison Ford. That's first of all, that's a disgrace. But second of all, this is actually a really good poster because it has all the action elements in it, and the lightsaber, and it looks really, really super heroic and crazy, and then the droids and stuff. But yeah, you gotta have Harrison Ford on these posters. Yeah. All right. So yeah, John Williams is the GOAT. I think he's been. I think he had been nominated for something crazy like 90 Oscars or some nonsense like that. He's had a huge run. I mean, we can go through his IMDb real quick too. The illustrious John Williams. I think he's like, is he pushing 90? I mean, he's an older dude back then.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, and he's done all of the main.
But he's still I get him. Did he do the latest Lion King? I think it was Zimmer who did. I always mix those two up sometimes. So look at the go over there, because he's if the internet would cooperate with us. I was like, wait a minute. the internets, they take so long to give us information.
Oh yeah, that's weird. Mine's kind of. Oh, there we go. So mine is kind of slow itself. Yeah, John Williams, born 1932. Yeah,
181 wins. Golly,
that is a career. 324 nominations. Yeah, he's scored. And so I picked The Empire Strikes Back because it definitely has those original Episode 4 themes, A New Hope themes, but just it goes in on it, and the action's more amped up, so it gives more space for John Williams to play. Empire Strikes Back is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's obviously the best sequel of all time. Some might say The Godfather 2, 1A, 1B for some people, but I really love The Empire Strikes Back because it's nonstop action, with exception of Dagobah. Like Dagobah, the pace kind of slows down.
You needed Dagobah. You needed Dagobah to break.
I'm not anti-Dagobah.
If there was no Dagobah, there was no Yoda.
No. We need Dagobah. But if you've seen the movie before and you know what you like I cherry pick my episode 5, my Empire Strikes Back. Like I'll skip Dagobah only because I just want nonstop action. That tends to be like the main story. No, I'm serious, because you go from Hoth to On the Run in the Asteroid Field, Dagobah. On the Run in the Asteroid Field, Dagobah. So I need to stay on the run. I want to stay on the run. So I kind of skip Dagobah until Luke leaves to go to Cloud City. Cloud City's off the chain, of course, and then the whole carbonite and everything. But the scoring throughout all that totally plays your emotions, which is what you want out of a good score. And look at this. What more needs to be said about John Williams? Superman.
Which is, by the way, my next pick.
Look at these segues just creating themselves. Empire Strike. Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's just the best. We'll probably be going back to John Williams, but since you mentioned it, let's slide into your third pick, which is Superman. What an incredible score. What an incredible pick, Charmaine. You're killing this game, damn it. Go and talk about Superman for a minute.
Yeah, so Superman came at the right time and right place of my childhood. I think watching that, it always, the whole superhero concept is just imaginary and supernatural. So after reading comics and what have you, the first real superhero movie I saw was Superman. So, and I remember it because my dad actually took me to the theater, and I was just like, okay, who is this big man in this cape and whatever? But what intrigued me was, and I'm looking at this ice scene right now, I just love the villainy. I just love the whole dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I used to run around my living room doing
the whole movie. They carried that theme the whole movie. I was like, you can't go anywhere with that. I mean, it's good. I even watched some of the later ones, even though the Superman franchise to me has gone to trash. And I say it out loud. I still stand on it though. I still stand on the earlier versions, the purity of it, and that's why I probably watched Justice League just out of nostalgia's sake. I'm like, okay, I'll support it. I mean, I like the newer versions, but I see where they were going with this. And even some of the newer movies, they try to stand up the score, but it doesn't stand up as strong as this first one, man.
You need John Williams. John Williams. I mean, even John Williams in the Rise of Skywalker, he got nominated for an Oscar for that because that movie, I mean, wasn't a great movie, but it still had a great score because this John Williams just killing the game. I think I own I definitely own the last 3 soundtracks from the Star Wars just because of John Williams. But yeah, John Williams again killing it. Superman. Classic score, like you said, the dun, 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 dun. I used to run around my living room. Actually, I'll take this off screen share for a second. I used to run around my living room like this. I had
the bootleg bedsheet cape, dog.
Had to do it, man. Yeah, if you're born in the 70s or an 80s babe, you had to do it. You had to run around, had to do it.
Yeah.
It's just an incredible score and great movie too. But I mean, you definitely feel that heroism in. I mean, I'm not even musically able to kind of talk about what makes such a great score. You could probably attest to that better, like the strings,
dude, string instruments. Like strings are emotional. Mm-hmm. Like you can and the horns. So dun, 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 like you got your attention, and then dun, 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 you're like, dude, stop it. So what? Williams found out, this is my unadulterated musicianship opinion, he found out his formula early and he stuck with it. So
is he heavy on string? Yeah, tell us the formula.
I think he was, I can see the template. Give me some time and I'll probably be able to label the template. But I know he has the horns, he strings, he knows how to build emotion over time. And the reason why I can relate to those elements of classical band junkie, man, I did a lot of band over the years, and I played various instruments like the saxophone, so I kind of understood their accompaniment, and then I got the opportunity to play percussion. Specifically, I played snare, trap drum, and timpani. So playing the timpani,
ding ding ding, is that one?
You just no, the timpani is the big.
Boom. Okay.
So for somebody like me who's kind of high energy, I was kind of weirded out when my band director was like, "You're playing the timpani." I was like, "Dude, I got too much energy." He's like, "Well, you're gonna learn how to control that energy," and he's right because the timpani, it dictated the emotion. So you can have a quiet feel, and then you raise up the emotion. So that's how I can kind of relate, and that's why Williams and Zimmer are tied neck and neck because they know how to work those elements of the orchestra, man. They know.
Absolutely. And actually, all right. So while we're on John Williams, I'll do my third one, and that's Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, actually, is this turning into a John Williams podcast? Because
I'm gonna up on my next thing, but go ahead. So as soon as you said Raiders, and Raiders is it's out there. I was like, oh, I don't want to make it all Williams. I just think of dun, 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 dun.
You know what it is, bruh. You know what it is. Dun, 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 dun,
and getting chased by that big boulder.
Dun, 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 and they do it just enough times in that movie that the second you even hear like one note, you're like, I'm ready. Like we're going on an adventure. Like everybody, they're going to a scene. Okay, we're about to be on an adventure in this scene. It's just it's exciting, and he brings so many shades out of like that whole main theme. I think that's what they call it, right? Like the main theme of his end. And so once again, the classic Williams formula. You got some strings, you got some horns, but he just finds a way to really create a sense of adventure, heroism, and a hint of danger that just sucks you in.
Yes, yes, yes,
And
and
but
it helped to rubber stamp the rest of Harrison Ford's career because, like, when you look at it, I think what was that? And we time stamped it. Okay, you had Star Wars for him, and then you had Raiders.
yes,
And then from there, he almost couldn't do anything wrong. And I'm not saying he's pretty good.
Actually, no. He had Star Wars, Superman, and then like another Star Wars, and then Raiders. Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, his run was impeccable. I mean, he might be on the Lifetime run. I mean, I don't know if I heard a bad John Williams score, to be honest with you. But,
no.
And I mean, obviously, he's getting up there in years. He said he's scored his last Star Wars. I get it. You've done like the whole main episode series. Yeah, exactly. But actually, he's done all the Star Wars movies up to now, even the side stories, I think. So he's so it's been I'm not sure he's like retiring, but he's done with Star Wars, and I get he's explored those themes as much as he can. But Raiders of the Lost Ark, and that set up a whole other franchise for your boy Harrison. Is just, I mean, it's just an incredible flex musically. I mean, so much to play with. He's dealing with Nazis, he's dealing with biblical themes, he's dealing with snakes. Hate snakes. He's got a lot to play with here. I mean, it just must have been incredible fun. And then for the movie to have the success that it did, for what it added to his career. He probably could just set his price after that.
He did. I'm quite certain he did right after that.
Amazing. So that's my third one. What's your fourth movie, Charmaine?
So I'm gonna get out of orchestra. Well, actually, I'm gonna stay in orchestra, but I'm gonna go black orchestra. Oh. Shaft. Isaac Hayes. I played that Shaft soundtrack so many times in undergrad, dude. It was ridiculous. That'd be magical. Isaac Hayes.
And of course, we're I'm doing the imitation because we don't have rights for anything. We don't want to get sued. We don't want to play anything. So
I know.
we respect rights on this podcast. Yes, tell us why the Shaft score hit you so hard.
Now let me watch. I'm gonna go backwards on this. So I had never seen Shaft before. I only was aware of the soundtrack. Like my dad would play the soundtrack when I was younger, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, what is this? This is different." This is kind of, it had a good funk up. So, and I didn't know the word was funk, but I was like, this is so smelly. It's like different. What is this? And I mean, the Shaft thing had it going, but there's so many other songs beyond the Shaft thing. Like, pull up the discography real fast.
Sure.
So like, I know everything by like by sounds and stuff. And again, we can't replay it, but I'll kind of name some titles. Like Bumpy's theme is one thing that kind of pops out of me, and it goes pretty well. So I didn't actually watch Shaft until like, I don't think I saw it until like the late 90s, man. And I ran Isaac Hayes into the ground. Like I went crazy, found Truck Turner, all kind of things he had done. But I always lean back to Shaft.
All right,
Bumpy's Leg Lemon. Cafe Reggio was one of my favorite riding songs because when Hayes did this, and I finally put it to the scenes, I see how things matched. Basically, you made an upbeat song because you got an upbeat part. I mean, it definitely was good matching and making, and it just made sense. Now, again, I don't need to watch Shaft anymore, but I'll go back to the soundtrack, the score, multiple times.
Yeah,
I'll go back.
What have you thought of the Shaft reboots? What have you thought of the Shaft reboots?
I don't know.
Look, I'll say this. I like what they did with maybe the first one, the one in 2000 or whatever.
I was okay with that.
That one was fun. I enjoyed that one.
I was okay with that. After that,
for any youngins or millennials might be listening, there was one in 2000 which starred Samuel L. Jackson. The one that came out with last year, instantly forgettable. Oh, it was so bad. And I like everyone involved in it too. It had Richard Roundtree, it had Samuel L. Jackson, it had Jesse T. Usher, rising star himself. Kind of, I see they're trying to kind of position is like maybe like the next Will Smith to an extent. Like they've been pushing him into these big action vehicles, but they haven't performed yet, which is sad because I like him. I liked him on that show on Stars, Survivor's Remorse. That's Jesse Trasher. Yeah.
Okay.
It just hasn't worked out for him yet, but they still keep pushing him. So I hope he finds his. I hope he finds his lane. But yeah, this one last year with the 3 generations of Shaft just didn't really work. Yeah.
Only thing I saw when I saw the trailer, one word: why?
the Ryan Reynolds, but why, Jeff?
But why?
All right, so my next one, my fourth one. You buckle in for this one, Charmaine?
Go for it, man. What you got?
All right, here we go. I'm gonna get this queued up on the screen. I'm just gonna hit you with the screen because you're gonna love this one. Let me share my screen right now.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one. That's a great one. That's amazing. I'm gonna call it.
Thank you. Finally, I came up with the original one out the box. I'm not sure if you had it on your list, but it should be on everyone's list. This is incredible. Just an incredible score. I believe this is when this is his father, right? Was this Billy? No, this is Terrence Blanchard, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Terrence Blanchard score. I love how we've been doing all these movies just off the top of the dome. Oh, we know this score. We know who did this. Yeah, it's got to be Terrence. Yeah, Terrence Blanchard score. Oh, uncredited music. Oh, that's interesting. He must have done something else too. Oh, another one. There, tech consultant. Oh, so this wasn't Terrence Blanchard. This was actually. Hold on.
I was like, wait a minute, was it?
I thought original. Let's see, music. I could have sworn Bill. Yeah, what?
Bill Lee.
I knew I wasn't crazy. It was his dad. That's right. This was Spike Lee's dad, Bill Lee. But he had Terrence Blanchard kind of like interning under.
Yes.
Or under.
There you go.
Yeah. Terrence Blanchard would grow up. Or even, I mean, he's probably already grown, but he would go on to eventually take over the rest of Spike Lee's scores. But yeah, it's an incredible score by Bill Lee, Spike Lee's father, who up to that point had done, I think, most of the scores or several of the scores. He did She's Gotta Have It, School Days, Do the Right Thing, and then it really did kind of hit a career crescendo, at least working with his son in Mo Better Blues. And and what more can you want from a movie that's all about jazz musicians, that crazy lifestyle? I mean, peak Denzel, just ultimate suaveness, peak Wesley, just I just love this movie for so many reasons, but especially the music.
It's one of the movies that I will not get rid of on DVD or Blu-ray. I'm like, I don't care. It's not going to get streamed. It's going to be an original, like, classic to pass down the pipeline, and it's a good show.
Cinda Williams, oh man, it should have had such a better career too. Oh, just incredible. But yeah, talk a little bit about like this score musically. Why does this score work musically?
Oh God, man, because rarely do you find a jazz or a music movie that has good music that coincides score-wise. When those two come together and it's Minority, butter. Just even from the beginning scene, I think you remember when Denzel's character is practicing with the trombone.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned that. Here it is.
No. I was like, this is gonna be a good movie. And
here she comes trying to distract him.
Yes. Yeah, he was. Oh my God, he was focused on it. And ouch, I still feel him when he got hit with that trombone too. God.
Or that scene where he goes to Spike Lee's sister Joie Lee, who played like, she was like probably the steadiest woman in his life, and he's basically, and she'd already he'd already picked the wrong woman over her, but he's like, look, I need you to save my life. I need to settle down, save my life. I can't play anymore. Save my life. I mean,
save my life.
What a movie moment! What a movie moment! Young Giancarlo, obviously, it's such a, I'm gonna watch this movie tonight. Damn it! I haven't watched this movie in too long. I'm watching this movie tonight. This movie got me so excited again. I love this movie.
It's a great movie, man.
It's sexy. The music is incredible. Just the music's so incredible. Oh, I'm gonna watch this movie tonight. I'm glad we played this game today, Charmaine. What's your last pick?
So my last pick, I got to go to my influences as a musician now. So and it caught me. It's new but not new enough. So it's an old remake. Tron Legacy. Daft.
Oh, Oh, Hal Electronica in the
Yeah.
building. All right, Tron Legacy 2010, Jeff Bridges, Garrett Hedlund. I'm going to bring it up on screen. Speak on it. Oh, did we? Oh, no. We lost Charmaine. Charmaine got so excited about Tron Legacy, we lost him. All right, well, let me speak on Tron Legacy for a second if I can. Hopefully he'll rejoin the podcast. So we'll free solo this. All right, anyways, and actually let's just re-invite him back. All right. Please rejoin us. So Tron Legacy, and we'll make, there we go, bring on the video. So it starred Garrett Hedlund and Jeff Bridges, director Joseph Kosinski. Interesting. I say that interesting because Joseph Kosinski is doing the sequel to, let's see, to Top Gun. He's doing Top Gun Maverick. And you know that's going to be, there he is. Welcome back, sir. I was about to do some ad-libbing on Tron Legacy, but go ahead and speak on it for us.
Oh my goodness, Tron Legacy caught me by surprise because rarely do you get a remake of a remake that actually is better than the original. So the original Tron was good, but the remake was super butter because the Daft Punk came in there. Daft Punk is very aggressive with their electronica. They came in there and said, we're gonna throw you a little bit. We're gonna throw orchestrated electronica. And that blew my mind. I was like, this is good. Especially for me as an electronica musician. Yeah, I was like, this is it. It's definitely top 5 scores. They upgraded the scenery, kept the story similar, father-son passing the torch deal. I was like, yeah, this is just good for me.
No, I really enjoyed it. It did take me back to, what was it, 82, 84, whenever the original Tron was. Because I remember when the original Tron came out, the video came out too, I think for Atari or something. And I was all over that as well because the thing looked like a video game. The movie looked like a video game. And it got you really into it. Then you play a video game at home and it's almost like the perfect synergy right there because they look so similar. And, you know, once again, you know, young me running around the the living room with my little trucks, like making these 90-degree turns, like the damn game and stuff. Yeah, that was my joint right there, for real. Yeah, so Tron, like, wow, that's a good one. And now you kind of got me thrown off because I thought I had an idea what I want to do for my last one, but so you know what? Actually, I know which one I'm going to do.
What you got?
Unfortunately, got to go back to the old Warhorse. I love him, but I just love so much about this. But I'm going with The Dark Knight. Our boy Hans, once again, closing it out with Hans Zimmer, the John Williams of his generation. I mean, he's just it's such a great movie. It's such a great movie with such an incredible score. Everything's super heightened because of it. Actually, let me share my screen real quick. I mean, obviously, R.I.P. Heath Ledger, a career-defining performance. Everything about it just hits. But this is when you're really like, oh, okay, Zimmer, I really fucks with you. I really see what you're doing here.
Yeah, this one, and I'm a sucker for a great Batman movie, and Batman movies have been floppy, so but this one, the Dark Knight, it brought me back in. I was like, oh my goodness,
why so serious? I mean, it's obviously everyone loves. I mean, this also, I think, goes on the list of some of the best, one of the best sequels of all time. It's such an incredible flex on Nolan because, I mean, Batman Begins, I thought, did an excellent job of updating Batman for the new millennium, making it grittier, more grounded in like in real life. Okay, so this guy. I mean, Batman technically is a superhero, but as some people would denigrate, he doesn't have any superpowers. He's just a super rich guy. Whereas some people would say being rich is a superpower. But Nolan really updated it, definitely had put some autistic flair to it, and then just matching up with this incredible score by Hans Zimmer. I mean, the thing that strikes me about this score that I can remember is that I'm not sure if it's timpani or what type, but you really hear the influence of the drums, like really heavy drums coming in to pounce with, like for example, this Batmobile. the Batmobile chase in the middle of Gotham with the where first he starts off with the actual Batmobile, then he gets into like the Bat Cycle or whatever. It's nuts, and then the music just kind of comes off. Dun, 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 dun. And then it keeps going like that. You're like, I'm just laid. I'm over here laid out. Like,
look,
whoa, just from the music.
The music, the cinematography, the storyline. The Dark Knight is it, man. It's crushing.
All right, well, I'm going to give us a little air horn that you can't hear, ending this segment. Thanks for playing along, Charmaine. What a great pod's been so far. And for those of you who are new, this is the segment where I describe briefly what is Cinema Draft. And basically, it's the fantasy sports version of the movies. But instead of drafting athletes from teams, you're drafting actors from movies, and how their movies perform at the North American box office will score you points for your call sheet, or lineup if you're in sports, of actors, while competing against others for fun and prizes. Basically, you draft 10 actors who are assigned a dollar value salary, you get $100K budget, and to try to draft all 10 actors, no more, no less. You have headliners who are worth 40% more because you go to see Mission Impossible for Tom Cruise, not necessarily for Angela Bassett. So his points are worth 40% more, and also he probably has a higher salary. So to give you an example, let's say Suicide Squad earns 100 million. Margot Robbie would get 100 points, while Will Smith would get 140 points. It will always be free to play. We usually have. I have here. This is an old rundown. We used to give away $200 in prizes each week. We'll probably be giving away more when we relaunch. We are currently in production, meaning that we're revamping the site to bring it back bigger, better, and also as a decentralized app. And so to kind of go in a little bit about what we've been doing since we've been gone these last 2 years. A lot of attempts at fundraising, or lack thereof. We've also been working on an innovative new game token called CD3D. And actually, giving a bit of a world premiere here, I was up all night working on this, we actually have up the CD3D site, which definitely goes into what it exactly is. I'm going to share my screen real quick for those watching at home. So CD3D is basically, it's an in-game token app that also doubles as a decentralized smart contract. There's a lot of mumbo jumbo. We go into all of it in some detail, but right now it's currently up and running, I believe. You go to cd3d.app, cd3d.app, click learn more. It'll take you to the white paper, and you can go, which goes into it en masse. There it goes. I'm like, there it is. Which describes to you a lot more about what CD3D is. It's basically cryptocurrency, some fun bells and whistles, but also basically a way for you to earn free money while you're playing the game. So we'll have some CD3D games on site where you can play for free, earn CD3D. Where if you go to the CD3D contract and exchange cryptocurrency for it, you can enter CD3D tournaments to win even more CD3D. And the great thing about this is that you can not even play any of the games, but just own CD3D, and you can earn dividends on your CD3D, and also have the cryptocurrency rise with it. So a lot of stuff to learn. We'll be going over it in more detail in later podcasts and videos, I'm sure. But definitely check out CD3D at cd3d.app. My little bootleg Google site that I worked off a template. So don't judge the artwork too badly. Just a little homebrew we're doing right now. Learn about the white paper until we get the contract up and running when we relaunch the game. Also, what else has been going on? Doing some market research to find out a better way to make the game for you, what people are looking for in their games. Also, some developments. MoviePass, now bankrupt. R.I.P. I only reason why I shout out MoviePass is that MoviePass died, so AMC A-List can live. Are you an AMC A-List member, Charmaine?
I am not.
Basically, what that is, it's a subscription service. It's great. It's basically how I watch all my movies now. Not to give no free ads, but basically A-List is pretty cool because because basically they allow you to watch up to 3 movies a week for free, or for one low price. I pay, depends on where you're located. It can be as much as $23.95 in California, or as low as like $19.95 in Vegas. But basically, you pay one price a month. You get to see up to 3 movies a week. You can book online all your tickets, no extra fee for booking online. You can select your seats, all that good stuff. And you get to see up to 3 movies a week. You can see IMAX 3D, all for 20, or at least I'm paying $21.95 a month. It's incredible. It's so funny because I remember seeing what was it, like IMAX 3D of some movie. It was like the actual ticket would have been $19.95, like on a primetime night, and I didn't pay anything because I'm already AMC A-list member, and it just struck me in that Uncut Gems thing from Adam Sandler. This is how I win, because 2 movies, it's paid for itself. It's an incredible value. So no free ads. Holla at me, AMC, if you want to get a promotional partnership with Cinema Draft. But I'd see about 2 to 3 movies a week. It's great. Also, Regal Unlimited, that's a thing out there too. That's like their version of, basically you can see as many movies as you want, unlimited style, for like, I think similar, like $20 a month or whatever. But I think they kind of, I don't think you can, here it is, $18 a month, I guess up to $24 a month. You can go as many times as you want. So that's also an alternative if you have an AMC in your area. I tend to like AMC better. They've spoiled me, and also AMC was first to market with it, so something to check out if you really love movies, Charmaine.
Nice.
Yes. Also, we're developing some new features for the Cinema Draft game. We're doing a tiebreaker feature. Once again, as I mentioned, we'll be having the crypto-backed in-game token CD3D, so we'll be giving free rolls for that, as well as CD3D only games. And I've just been seeing a shit ton of movies in the theater. I saw Parasite. I love Parasite. Have you seen Parasite, Charmaine?
La, I can hear you. La la la. I'm not talking about Parasite yet because I have not seen it.
Oh! Man, you know what? All right, I'm gonna leave it alone. But I'm gonna share my screen real quick. But Parasite, it's like that. I love me some Parasite.
You're like the 15th person who said go see Parasite. I'm like, God, I gotta make some time to go see it. I heard it's great.
Well, it's great. It's actually on Amazon Prime if you just want to watch it too. Sorry, had the bubble guts for a second. It's actually on Amazon Prime if you want to see it at home. But it's just, I saw it again this past weekend in IMAX, which is an incredible experience. If you want to go out and see it in the theater, I think it's still playing in IMAX this week only. So I think you've got like maybe a few more days as of this taping. It's just an incredible. It's an incredible movie going experience. It definitely gets you thinking about the nature of capitalism and stuff. The posters give nothing away. Nothing's being spoiled, so you're still good. Incredible performances. It's one of the most original films I've ever seen, and I would rank it up there. And when I say original, I mean you can't see where this thing is coming from. Oh, actually, you can't see where this thing is coming from. It's there's a huge twist in the middle, which totally kind of resets the game a little bit, and it's also got a pretty decent score now I think about it. And all these Korean actors I had never really known about, the exception of maybe the patriarch guy who plays Mr. Kim. His was a face I'd seen before, but it's just, and the whole Jessica jingle, Jessica, only child, Illinois, Chicago. It's also kind of become a thing I love to do. It's a really good movie. I highly recommend it. It'll definitely get you thinking about the nature of capitalism, income inequality, and how we interact with class in the capitalism structure. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, and that definitely deserves an. And so we're going to bring this plane in for a landing. I'm actually up against it with another meeting coming pretty soon. So one thing we like to wrap up here with is our over-unders of the week. I know it's been a while, so we have no poll to reference from last week because last week was 2 years ago. So the over-under this week, we've got a big movie coming out from Pixar, the Pixar money printing machine called Onward. I'm guessing, I'm setting the over-under at, well, actually, let me ask you, what do you think the over-under should be for Onward coming into this weekend? How many millions at the box office do you think it's gonna make?
Pixar, man. Pixar easily, well, for over the weekend, I've given them at least 80, and they'll probably go over that because that's Pixar. It's Pixar.
Well, it is Pixar, and as we certainly hope you'll be playing the game as we move forward, you'll learn certain which of the seasons are kind of hotter than others. But 80 million might be aggressive. I might put it at 60. Let's split the difference. Call it 70. So you're definitely over on 70. I'm gonna probably say it's probably gonna be slightly under 70, but I'm gonna set the bar at 70. You be the over, I'll be the under. We'll revisit this at our next weekly podcast to see if it actually occurred. We'll set the poll up for you to decide, America and beyond. We'll set the poll up at our Cinema Draft Twitter account, and that would be at Play Cinema Draft. Yep, that's us right here. So definitely follow us at Play Cinema Draft on Twitter. We'll put up the poll by the time that this podcast airs. Where else can you find us? You can find us also on Facebook, Cinema Draft, Instagram at Play Cinema Draft. We have a Medium account, which is our unofficial, well, actually it's our official blog at Cinema Draft. We even have a Pinterest account, damn it. Check that out too. And of course, definitely go to our homepage, cinemadraft.co. That is cinemadraft.co. Where you can subscribe to the podcast as well. Also, like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. And all about us, what's going on, frequently asked questions about the game. You can see the 2-minute Get Started guide, all these great things to check out, and also links to our social media. And so that's pretty much going to be it, Charmaine. Do you have anything to plug? Plug your ish.
Yo, come check out my tunes. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube. I live a lot on Instagram, though. If you want to kind of catch me right away, you slide into the DM. I might actually slide you a surprise track. So,
hello. All right. Maybe we can even link to it in the podcast description. That'd be a great bonus for everyone. So how do we find you on these various outlets?
So, like, my name, and this goes to a movie I like. So my name is Hal, just like 2001 Space Odyssey, but you got to add an A. So it's HAAL Electronica, all one word. You run a Google on that, and it pops right up. So you'll see my spaces. You'll see again, come to my Instagram. I'm building my YouTube site to kind of make it more relevant, and you'll see some good things coming there. And then for the daily, maybe just some quick chat, I may use Twitter or Facebook. So I'm on all the major social media outlets. I have some new music. When I do put out new music, I'm gonna probably tell it on Instagram first. Then I'll go ahead and bust it out on YouTube. But just be on the lookout. Sign up on my mailing list that I have available, and we can make it roll. So yeah, that's at Hal Electronica. Yeah, there we go.
There he is.
And I'm here. So
ooh,
I'm
4,000. You got more followers than us. We got to step our game up. Damn.
Overtime, my friend. Overtime. So
outstanding. Good stuff. Well, thanks everybody for listening. As they say, like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you follow us wherever you can get your podcasts at. iTunes, Google Music, SoundCloud, wherever your favorite podcasting outlet is. And as we play our little outro music, our little action music, which sadly Charmaine can't hear. So I'd like to say around here, and also a big thanks to you, Charmaine, for being on the podcast. My main man, Charmaine.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me, man. Glad to be here.
Hal Electronica. Why don't you go see a movie or something? Peace, everybody.